Hey guys, and welcome to another video. So today we're going to talk about tuning. Today we're joined by Mikhail. He's the owner of Ungaraged, whereby they kind of like distribute tunes locally. So yeah, karibu.
Asante.
Yeah. So now Mikhail, tell me, how long have you been doing this for?
Well, I started getting interested in tuning when I bought my first car, which was a Mark 5 GTI, like this one right here, in 2015.
Yeah.
And since then, I started doing a lot of research on how to improve its performance and get the best out of it.
Yeah.
So I did a lot of research and made a lot of contacts who introduced me to tuning and performance parts for our cars.
Because many people don't really understand what goes into tuning, what it does. So maybe you could kind of like explain what a tune does as opposed to what comes factory with cars.
Yes, most manufacturers want their cars to be reliable, and they build them with a certain set of components which are designed to make the car run a specific way despite the conditions. So tuning basically is a process of getting the right mix of variables to make the car perform at its peak for a specific set of conditions. By that I mean you will be tuning for a specific fuel, a specific component, and also your altitude or temperature. Yes.
That's pretty interesting because, you know, in Kenya, mostly guys, you hear about tuning, you don't know what it is. I remember many years ago, I think like I was in primary or something, around maybe 2008, there was an article on news of someone who used to do tuning on any cars. So they promised you'd get better economy, you know, so many claims, So, and they were basically advertising to guys who drive non-turbo cars. So do you think this is true? Because I know with turbo cars, if you tune it, it's quite possible for it to be more economical and such. So maybe you can tell me about like, what cars can you tune? What can't you tune? Is it advisable to tune a premium?
Okay, tuning started a long time ago. Even when cars were running carburetors, you'd find mechanics would go in and try and adjust the air to fuel mixture. And with time now, with technology, many manufacturers adopted a computer management system. So you find this computer, which we call an ECU, collects a lot of data from different sensors within the vehicle and performs calculations on those readings to determine the amount of air-fuel ratio mixture, the spark timing, the fueling amount, and also the boost pressure. So with a naturally aspirated car, it's a bit of a challenge to get more air inside the engine. So the tuning is mostly around just more precise fueling and ignition timing. With cars with turbochargers and superchargers, we can go a bit further and increase the boost pressure, which basically compacts more air and therefore more oxygen into the engine. And so we are able to make more power that way. And at the same time, we can use bigger turbos or bigger superchargers than those that came factory integrated in the engine.
So like when it comes to tuning, we keep on hearing stage 1 tune, stage 2 tune, stage 3 tune, big turbo tunes. So maybe you could kind of like explain what each step is.
Okay, there's the levels of tuning. To make them simple, people have come up with the naming convention of stage 1, stage 2. So basically, when you say you're stage 1, it means the hardware in the car has not been changed at all. So it's a stock hardware, the way the car came from factory, but the ECU has been reprogrammed to give you more torque and more horsepower. So with the stage 1 tune, mostly it's the boost that's adjusted, timing, and the air-fuel ratio, but not to a very high extent.
Yeah.
Because stock cars have very restrictive exhausts. So it's a very mild level of tuning, which gets you roughly 50 horsepower on a turbo car.
Yeah.
All right. Then when you go to stage 2, now you open up the air intake with the performance cold air intake, and also the exhaust with something that flows better,
Yeah.
which enables the turbo to breathe freely and therefore able to make more power. So you can find increase in up to 80, even 100 horsepower from just a stage 2 tune.
Yeah.
If you use more knock-resistant fuel, which is fuel that is enriched in a way that it does not detonate despite high boost or high compression, you can go up to even 150 horsepower increase in big cylinder, big volume engines like 2.5 liter, 3 liter engines, like the BMW you see behind me. So depending on the power target of the customer, most people will be happy with the stage 2 tune. But for enthusiasts, we can go a step further, which now we call stage 3. Well, we start changing many more components like the fuel pumps, the turbos for bigger units, aftermarket units from Garrett, Bogwana, or all these other companies, and that enables us to make double the original power, triple the original power, depending on how much the engine can take. And if you reach that limit, then you might also have to strengthen the engine itself. Yes, with stronger rods, stronger pistons, which can handle that power that you're trying to put through.
There's an engine tune, ECU tune.
Yes.
You can also do a transmission tune.
Yes.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about transmission tunes.
Okay. So as well as the engine has a computer, the transmissions nowadays also have their own computer, and they also designed in a way to handle a certain amount of torque. So when the engine input torque into the transmission exceeds a certain level, we also have to make the transmission be able to handle that power. So when you're talking about dual clutch transmissions or ZF transmissions, the line pressure inside the gearbox can be increased so that the clutches don't slip. And this enables the transmission to take more torque through it and therefore put more power to the wheels. If you're a manual transmission car, then you can also upgrade the clutches to more robust clutches, which can also take that power.
Because I normally hear guys saying I'm running a stage 2 competition clutch or some terms.
Correct, yeah. And the other advantage of tuning the DSG, which we encourage most people, is you can unlock features like launch control. So factory cars might come with launch control, but it could be limited to a certain number. Maybe they say you can only launch the car 100 times in its lifetime. So or some cars won't come with launch control at all. So by tuning the transmission, you're able to unlock the number of launches you can do, and also at what RPM the launch is going to take off from.
So now maybe you can go through how, okay, I'm a customer, yeah?
Yes.
Let's assume I'm a customer. So I've brought my car to you.
Yes.
I found you on Instagram, whatever, I DM'd you. So I say I want this particular tune. What's the process for getting a tune from when I come to you?
All right. So yes, most of our customers reach us from social media networks, Instagram, Facebook, or on our website, ungaraged.com. And when a customer comes, first we have to look at the health of the car. So we just inspect, the current mechanical health of the vehicle, the spark plugs, the fuel injectors, and things like that. A quick overview. After that, we take the reading of the ECU software, which is the firmware that was written in the factory. And we then send that to our main dealership, where an engineer will have a look at the file. And depending on what stage the customer wanted, stage 1, 2, 3, the engineer will make the necessary modifications. And they might also advise the customer what mechanical components to change or upgrade on his vehicle. And then after a day, we get a modified file back from the dealership, which we write to the car via the OBD2 port. So basically, any car with an OBD2 port can be tuned through this method. And it's a universal port, so you find it in most cars from 1996 onwards, which makes it very easy, and it's non-intrusive.
And what about the costs for the different stages of tunes?
Most stage 1 and 2 tunes will cost around $300. Stage 3 tune, because it's very custom and depends on engine modifications and the turbo you install, can go up to $500. And the DSG and gearbox tunes can be as well from around $500, $600. Yes.
I think that's pretty reasonable, considering you're getting quite a lot more from what your car could give you.
Correct. If you look at a price to performance ratio, to gain 50 horsepower from your vehicle, there isn't one simple mode you could do that costs $300 that will give you 50 horsepower. So when you look at a price to performance ratio, it's a no-brainer. And the other thing is the whole software is 100% reversible. So if at any point you decide to go back to your stock tune, it can always be done. Yes, at no cost.
And also, guys, there's this myth that if you're tuning a car, if you have a tuned car, you have to run V-Power, you have to run, I don't know if avgas is a thing.
Yes.
But anyway, is it possible for someone who wants to tune the car just to run normal Excellium, normal Kenol Kobil fuel?
Yes, so when you're tuning the vehicle, like I said, it's a process where you're combining a certain mix of things that you want to get optimal performance from. So if you're tuning for V-Power, then you will have to use V-Power for that car. But if you come and say, okay, I want to use normal fuel on this car, then we'll make a tune that works with normal fuel. And the good thing is, if you tune with normal fuel, when you put V-Power, then there's no harmful effect. But if the car is tuned for a high-level octane fuel like avgas or a race fuel, then you can't use regular pump fuel on it. So it's something that you have to have decided outright from the beginning that you want to run this particular fuel. And we always advise people to get whatever is commonly available to them. Yes.
Okay, fine. I think we've learned a lot. You guys, I'm sure you've also gotten to understand quite a lot of what goes into tuning. So in a bit, he's going to show us how they read the file, how the tune is sent over, so you can basically see what happens. So Mikhail, we're very thankful for having us here, explaining to us. It's been more of an educative video.
Sure.
Personally, I've learned a lot. I hope the viewers have also learned a lot. So guys, don't fear tuning your cars. If you have a turbo car and you want more boost, you want more power, reach out to Mikhail. His company is called Ungaraged. You can find him on Instagram, Facebook, website ungaraged.com. So thank you.
Cheers. Thanks.